welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield preview pod back. A little bit of midweek under the lights. I think this might be our last midweek game week of the season. I don't know. I might be corrected here in a minute by our guest, but to preview Millwall midweek under the lights, one of the badass titles to a podcast I've ever seen. And when I looked up Millwall podcast and it comes up Achtung Millwall podcast, I said, I've got to do whatever to get these guys on because I want to know the backstory. So long story short, I'm joined to preview Millwall. Nick of the Achtung Millwall podcast. Nick, how are you doing on this late night Sunday
9 o'clock at night? This is dedication for you, Chad, isn't it? Talking football at 9 o'clock at night. Achtung Millwall. We're just talking off air, weren't we? I'm a fan, used to be more of a big fan, but I used to love the album by U2 called Achtung Baby, which was made in Berlin. And it was a bit of a groundbreaking album at the time. So I've always loved that title, Achtung Baby. So I've nicked it for Achtung Millwall. So that's hence the name. That's the story.
Very, very, very interesting title. So let's get into it. Millwall season as a whole, kind of try to put a bow on this one, and where that has got Millwall to where they are with 7 games left in the season.
Yeah, it's been a strange old season at the Den. We were just speaking, viewers, off air about the Premier League and the impact of money in the sport. And Millwall is obviously one of the smaller sized clubs. I mean, just looking at the league table, I mean, Burnley have been in the Premier League. Sheffield United, we're talking about tonight. Then you've got names like Leeds and Sunderland, Middlesbrough, big names, big clubs. They command big audiences. Millwall is one of the smaller clubs. We're in London. One of probably 10, 12 professional clubs. Premier League clubs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, these are our competition. So we're always going to be underdogs, and I followed them for nearly over 50 years, Chad. Can you believe that? I followed Millwall through thick and thin and very, very, very thin at times, and I'm still here, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We've had a strange season this year. We've had a managerial change. We started the season with a club legend, Neil Harris, in charge of us. What's the expression? Musical and artistic differences used to break bands up, and we had a difference of opinion over the way the club should be managed in the modern era. So he's moved on, and we've now got Alex Neil. And so far, we've started to play a slightly different, more attack-based style, but always within the realms of the amount of money we can bring to the table. We just can't afford players that can score goals as freely as other clubs. So when you look at the league table, we are 9th as you and I are speaking, but we've got one of the lowest goals scored tallies in the division. That's because gold dust is goal scorers and they cost money, and we don't have that in great abundance. But no, it's a season we're in with a very, very, very faint chance of making the playoffs. We need a lot of luck. We need Sheffield United to give us 3 points at Bramall Lane without too much opposition. And then we need whatever football gods you all pray to out there in YouTube land to decide that they will smile upon these plucky outsiders in the middle of the capital to give us a shot. God help the Premier League if we get into it, because we played Crystal Palace in the FA Cup the other week, and that caused more media mayhem and attention, and calls for debates in Parliament over. So this will be every week if we climb into the Premier League. But anyway, that's a good summary for you, but that's where we're at the moment.
No, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. You do touch on the very faint hopes for Millwall to make the playoffs. As we currently sit here with 7 games left, do you think Millwall have enough, or could have a few results go their way if they go to Bramall Lane midweek and take all 3 points against Blades? Does that then set them up for a decent run and to get into the playoffs?
It's like the old ventriloquists, Chad. I've got like a voice on this shoulder saying that my heart and my head. Yeah. My head's got a really big mouth and is saying you've got no chance at all, Nick. My heart is saying you've always got a chance. we've struggled to score goals. Let's be honest. We've defended well. We've had a strong defence all season, but scoring goals going forwards has been our problem. We've also got a big injury list. We've made some decent signings this season, but they've all, for one reason or another, not many of them are available. So we are on a bit of a wing and a prayer going up to Bramall Lane on Tuesday night, isn't it? And I think if we get anything out of the game at Sheffield, we'll do very, very well. We need a win if we're going to mount this unlikely playoff charge. So all I can say to the viewers out there is, I know you're all Sheffield United fans, but if you've got any kind of handy lucky heather or rabbit's feet for good luck on you, then give us a shout because we need it.
Yeah.
Need a lot of it. I need a lot of it, Chad, to be honest. No, I mean, ever hopeful, aren't we? Always got to be hopeful in football.
Yeah, I mean, it's the hope that kills you right now. You're so close to something. You're so close to something, and you're like, oh, if I just dump a little bit more hope into it, and of course, they'll just rip your heart out and be like,
that's every year. That's every year for us. So we're like Dracula. Every year, have it done, then come back to life again next year for it all to be done again to us.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's going to be a tough game. Sheffield United going really well. I've loved the look of Sheffield. As I've said already, it's a great ground. A midweek fixture with a lot riding on it. Burnley, top of the table as we speak, 84 points. Sheffield, 83 in second. They need a win, and that could be the championship trophy on the line. So I think we're up against it. But we will probably go there to contain and defend and frustrate and look to hit on the counter punch. That's been our style all season. I don't expect that to change now. And we've had some big wins on occasions with using that kind of approach. So recently, injuries have taken their toll. We've not had so much luck in recent matches. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tight game or a tighter affair. I think the result Saturday for Sheffield United not going in the favor of Blade's way is going to have a little bit of an impact on how this one goes, because I think they're going to want to get that bad taste out of their mouth. And this could be a goal. I think it goes 1-0 either way. It could be a 0-0 draw. This has a look of a game that could be a 0-0 draw. But I think if Sheffield United do not go and get a result on Wednesday, I think then the nerves start to creep in and they become a little bit tighter, because then you're like, oh no, back-to-back results where you haven't picked up 3 points. The obviously lost, and just say Wednesday goes as a draw. If Burnley and Leeds results go in, they get 3 points, and you're like, oh man, we were second solely there, So they have all of that building up to it.
It's going to be a tight match. It's all on the line. You've got the big three clubs of the division: Burnley, Sheffield United, and Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
And only 2 automatic promotion spots to the promised land of the Premier League. So something's got to give. Pressure does funny things to you, Chad, doesn't it? And
it does.
Who knows? I think you're talking about a 1 goal. If Sheffield United win it, I think it'd be more than 1 goal. I think if they get the first goal, then I would expect Sheffield United to push on and get more. To be honest with you, if we win, fingers crossed, etc., then it will, but probably only be by 1 goal. We've barely scored. We've played 40 games. We've just scored 39 goals. So if we do get that 1 goal, then it's going to be all hands to the pumps, because we probably won't get another one very easily. So it's going to be an intriguing game. I should be watching it on TV, and I should be praying to the football gods for favour and whatever sacrifices they demand of me. Really,
for sure.
But then we've still got to press on after that. I mean, if we can get a result at Sheffield, which is no easy task, we then got to do it again against Middlesbrough on the Saturdays. It's all going. Yeah.
It's all going. It's all coming down. And that's why this is the best division in all of football. I mean, this rivals any league in the world. I think it's by far the best division. Before we get out of here, Nick, give the people where they can find the podcast so they can maybe give a little preview, a little insight into Wednesday night's.
Well, Funnily, it's a strange thing, actually. Obviously, the internet is a world wide web, as we all know. After the UK, our biggest listenership, strangely, is in the USA, which I always find it's in front of Australia. I would have expected Australia to be our second most popular location. I don't know how it is for other shows, but we do get quite a few American listeners, expats, but also homegrown Yanks. So always welcome. Tune in to us at Achtung Millwall, at Achtung Millwall. That's on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now, at Achtung Millwall. And you can find us on there. And we're a very welcoming club. So if you're ever in London and you can't get up to Sheffield, which is understandable, then do come along and watch Millwall, because it's a very similar kind of vibe to Sheffield United. Sheffield is a traditional, once steel city. It's a good working class kind of club, and it's speaking off air earlier, weren't we, Chad, about the football and the Premier League, and it's kind of pseudo gloss, whereas Millwall is a bit raw and a bit rough and a bit ready. And I think anyone that comes down to the Den, it has a reputation that's long gone, but you will enjoy the roughness and the readiness of the crowd. And so check us out at Achtung Millwall. That's spelled ACHTUNG. Millwall is MILLWALL, and it's pronounced Millwall.
Millwall.
Right, try and say it, Chad. Millwall.
Millwall.
There you got it. You got it.
There you go.
English lessons.
There you go. If you haven't done so, Red Sheffield on Twitter, X, as Nick said, where the hell it's called these days. And you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Red Half of Sheffield, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Just give us a like, subscribe, and until my Plymouth review, I will leave you with Up the Blades.